Welcome dear students to Computer Studies Standard 10th English Medium, chapter number 7, that is functions in Calc. This is part 5. In the last video, the last function which we had studied was if. Now we are going to still study some more logical functions. Calc supports some more functions that support logical decision making. These functions are AND, OR and NOT. These functions are used to build complex formulas and functions. Other logical functions are true, false and not. Now before I teach you these functions, all those who are new on my channel, please do subscribe the channel and continue watching the video. And all the students who are watching the video, if you like the video, at least hit the like button. Because I am not running this channel for any commercial purpose. Okay, my only aim is to teach the students, so at least I can accept a like from you. The first function is true function. This function returns the logical value true. The general form of this function is true, bracket open and bracket close. Now you may have observed that here there is no argument. Another function is false. This function returns the logical value false. The general form of this function is also the same. Note that in both the functions it does not take any argument. Now we are going to learn the NOT function. Now see, just now when I will teach you this function, it will look to be useless function. But when you type complex programs, at that time this function is very much helpful. But that is out of our course just now, so I continue teaching. The general form of NOT is NOT into bracket expression result in logical value. Here NOT function reverse the logical values, so false become true and true becomes false. For example, if we compare 5 is not equal to 5, then it will return true. Actually it is false. Another thing, not 5 is equal to 5, then it will return false. Actually 5 is equal to 5, it is true. So this function returns opposite value. Now on this side I will be typing the logical functions, and on the other side we will see what output does it gives by typing the same function with is equal to sign. So here first function is true. Now this is a useless function for us. It doesn't make any meaning. You will observe it just now. If I type here true, okay, bracket close, it will return true. Then straight away also I can type 2, isn't it? So at present it is useless function for us. But it may be a meaningful function since Excel has designed this thing. So same way is the case of false function. Now we come to NOT function. Okay, so NOT, and in bracket if I type true, then it will return me false. Now NOT I will use in both the ways and show you. I will type the value and like that way also, and just typing true or false also I will show you both the ways. Fine. So here if I type true, it displays false. Then NOT false, same thing, NOT false, then it will return true. Now we take the previous example, that is NOT. We will compare two values. For example, 5 is not equal to 5. same thing I will do here, is equal to not 5 is not equal to 5, then it will return false or true. Actually it is false, then true. And then another example, not 1 is equal to 1. Same thing I do here, not 1 equal to 1. Fine. So I didn't find any of the function interesting at all. Now we are going to learn about AND function. Now AND function is not useless or boring, but it is very useful function. This function is used to compare results up to 30 arguments. The result of the AND function will be true if all the conditions, that is arguments, are true. I am sure that you may have not understood what I read just now, but just now I will explain you the thing properly. First we go to the syntax. Syntax is AND into bracket condition 1. Now in condition 1 you have to compare two values. For example, value lying in A1 is equal to value lying in A2. In condition 2 you have to compare other two things, like that way it is. Here the arguments of the AND function are conditions. Each condition is capable of resulting itself in either true or false. That means it is of Boolean type. Now what is Boolean? Boolean has got only two values, either yes or no, either true or false. Like that way, that is Boolean. We try to understand this function with the help of an example. For example, if we have stored three numbers in cell A1, A2 and A3 respectively, we can compare it with the help of AND function. How shall we compare? We will type is equal to AND into bracket A1 is equal to A2, comma A2 is equal to A3. We can also type A1 is equal to A3. Like that way we can type 2 or 3 conditions, but in AND 2 conditions are enough to check the thing. Here in the screenshot which I have put from your textbook, in A1 it is 12, A2 it is 12 and A3 is different, that is 6. Now since all the conditions didn't match, that is why it gave the output as false. You have to remember that in AND any number of conditions you write, you can write up to 30 conditions. If all the conditions result into true, then only the answer will be true. Before teaching you practically the AND function, I will just explain you theoretically OR function, and then both the functions I will teach you together in practicals. This function is used to compare results up to 30 arguments. The result of the OR function will be true even if any of the condition or argument is true. That is, if you have typed 30 arguments, and in that even if one's result is true and 29 is false, then also here the answer will be true. The syntax is like the previous one, OR into bracket condition 1, comma condition 2 up to 30 conditions. Here the arguments of OR function are conditions, each capable of resulting itself in either true or false. That means Boolean values. This thing also we will try to understand with an example. For example, if we have stored three numbers in cell A1, A2 and A3, we can compare it with the help of OR function. Here we will have to compare A1 with A2 also, and A2 with A3 and A1 also with A3. All three we will have to compare. Now here we have got the same numbers, that is 12, 6 and 6. Now 6 and 6 are equal, but 6 and 12 are not equal. But then too this function will result into true. Now see, the usage of AND and OR function could be made inside a function also. For example, in the if function, we had to check so many conditions that if so and so grade, if the marks are percentage are between so and so, then this or that grade, like that way. So if we want to check the marks are between so and so, then we will have to use AND function. And to check another condition, we can use OR function. At present it is 10:32 p.m. and I have to complete the video. Tomorrow children have to watch the video, so I am not able to give you more examples. I go ahead. Now I am teaching you exactly as per what is given in the textbook, because I have to complete the video and upload it in time. So here I am not able to give you any practical usage of this thing with so many examples. We go ahead. Here, are the above values same that you want to find? Then I have entered 3 values. Fine. Now I check the thing with the conditions with the help of AND function. And first thing we check is A equal to A1 equal to A2, comma, is A2 equal to A3. Okay, even 2 conditions will give you the perfect output. You don't need to check the third condition, because even if one condition fails, then the output will be false. Fine. So like this way it is. Now to teach you OR, a very good example is given. Not good example, but okay, proper thing is given. Now here we are going to take 3 values. Now we will be taking the values like that way, that if all the 3 conditions are true, okay, then what will be the result? Another example will be 2 values, that is B1 and B2 will be same and this will not be same. In third example it will be first will be different, second will be different, and first and third will be the same. Here first will be different and third and second will be the same. And in the last example, each value will be different. I will type the function once and then I will drag it. Right? So we will check is equal to and into bracket A1. Sorry, now I am teaching you OR condition, right? So I will type here OR into bracket A1 equal to A2, comma, A2 equal to A3, comma, A1 equal to A3. Fine. Now see here all the conditions are matching with each other, so true. While here only 2 things are matching, third one is not matching. Same way here first and second are matching. Then also OR is giving the true output. While here the last 2 are matching, so true output, and here if all the conditions are not matching, then only it will give false output. Now same thing, same values I will keep, and I will try this function in using AND. Fine, ready? Is equal to AND into bracket A1 equal to A2, comma, A2 equal to A3, comma, A1 equal to A3, and bracket closes. So here since everything, all the conditions are matching, all 3 conditions, so it's giving true. While here everywhere it will give false. Just notice, I will mark it in red. Here also I will mark false in red. So you will come to know that in AND, even if one of the condition is not matching, okay, then it will give false. And if all conditions are not matching, then also it will give false. True it will give only if all the conditions are matching. Fine. So this is all to be taught to you in practical about OR and this thing AND. Here the tabular information of the usage of OR is given. This thing we did practically just now. If anybody has not followed, you can pause the video here and read the tabular information given over here. Now we are going to discuss about the next category of functions, which are known as string functions. Now, do you know the meaning of string? What is a string? Yeah, here the meaning is different. It is not what you think. String means any sentence, any word, any paragraph, anything, okay, which is formed with the help of alphabets or special characters or space, everything, that is termed as string. Now the first function is very interesting and it is a very helpful function. The name of the function is concatenate. I may be making spelling pronunciation mistake. So the concatenate function can join up to 30 strings of text. The general form of the function is concatenate into bracket text1 comma text2 comma. You can also add space in between the two commas. Suppose if you want to merge the name and surname lying in two different columns, then you can type concatenate into bracket A1 comma, then double quotes space double quotes comma and cell B1, like that way. So a space will be added between the name and surname. If you don't add space, then it will join both the words. Now still we try to understand this concept in a better way. Instead of concatenate function, you may also use AND sign. For example, two different words ice and cream are lying in two different cells, or straight away you want to join these two words, then you can type is equal to concatenate to double quotes. If it is a single text, it is not stored in any of the cell, then you have to add double quotes comma cream also in double quotes, or you can type straight away is equal to double quotes ice and double quotes cream, simple. But of the above will return a string called ice cream. Both of the above will return the same value. If in case you want to add a space between ice and cream, you may also add AND sign, or if you don't want to add AND sign, then I already explained you double quote space. Now practically I will solve all these confusions. So let's do the practicals. So at present I am doing according to the textbook. Generally this function is used to join the name, surname, father name lying in different columns. Fine, I go according to the textbook. I type ice here, I type cream here. Fine, now if I want to join both of them in this cell, I will have to type the function is equal to concatenate. Fine, now ice, okay, comma cream. Here all the confusions will get solved, that how to add space in between. Fine. Now if I want to add space between ice and cream, then what to do? I will retype it here because otherwise it will not be clear. I have to type here concatenate into bracket ice, that is stored in B1 comma double quotes. See, this double quotes theory I was trying to explain you. Now here one space you want to leave, so after B1 put a comma, double quote, space in between, again double quote, comma, and then this. So you can see the change in the output. Am I right? Ice, cream. Fine. Now next thing, use of AND operator. Now here if I want to merge the two words ice and cream, I will do it here only. Then I can type this thing is stored here. So in the textbook it is given, straight away you use ICE, then AND in between and cream. So it will join the two words. I forgot to add is equal to sign. That is why it's not working. Fine. So it will join both the words. Now I want to leave space in between. So I will type here is equal to double quotes ICE and. Okay. Now to leave the space like this way using and, you will have to leave it this way. Just observe, instead of comma it is and, then double quote, then space, then double quotes and then cream. We generally don't use and, we use concatenate function only, but since it's given here, so I am teaching you. Now we will do the same thing using this thing, a cell reference. Instead of typing ice and cream, I use the cell reference B1, then I put and, space, and B2. Like this way also it will return the value, and if I don't want to leave the space, then is equal to, oh my god, where did that thing disappear? Yeah, here B1 and B2. So this was all about concatenate function. Now other string functions we'll learn in the next video, which would be the last video of this chapter. So here we complete this video. We meet again in the next video. Goodbye, and don't forget to like the video.